Another episode of America in Black and White. In this engaging episode, we sit down with Craig Turner, a dedicated career advisor at the University of Toledo. Join us as we explore Craig's journey, the impactful Young Service Scholars Program, and the symbiotic relationships between education and community development. Get ready for an insightful conversation filled with success stories, practical advice, and a vision for the future. But first, let me tell you all a little something about Mr. Turner himself. Craig is a dedicated and accomplished professional who is deeply committed to education, career development, and the community engagement. Originally from Ohio, he has an impressive academic background, having earned an associate's degree in business management, a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies, and a master's degree in education with a specialization in higher education administration, all from the University of Toledo. In his current role as a career advisor at the University of Toledo, Neff College, that is, of Business and Innovation, Craig plays a crucial role in shaping the college's business career programs. He is responsible for providing students with hands-on career coaching and development opportunities. Craig's career journey has been diverse, with experiences in various areas of corporate America, including transportation and logistics, customer service, inside sales, as well as corporate and campus recruitment. This program is highly successful, yielding 85% of the College of Business students gain at least one internship during their college experience, resulting in over 90% full-time placement rate of its graduates. Craig embodies the philosophy of servant leadership, and his deep passion lies in serving others and helping them achieve success. With over 2 decades of combined experience, career development, and employee relations, he possessed the ability to grasp complex challenges, think creatively, and tackle them with unwavering energy, resourcefulness, and tenacity. Craig is a self-starter with forward-thinking skills, always keeping the end goal in mind. He excels both as an independent worker, as a collaborator, demonstrating exceptional networking skills. His professionalism and integrity shine through the conflict resolution and thrives on challenges, actively seeking opportunities to make positive impact on other lives through mentoring and coaching to help them reach their full potential. In addition to his professional roles, Craig has served in leadership capacities within college, including a 3-year tenure as Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. Additionally, he has supplied valuable support to the faculty as an adjunct instructor for 6 years, teaching courses in executive communications, career development, and organizational behavior. Beyond his professional commitments, Craig is deeply connected to the Toledo community. He serves as a director for the Young Executive Scholars, the YES program, at the Jones Leadership Academy of Business, one of the Toledo public high schools. Established in 2017, this program aims to strengthen the partnership between the University of Toledo and Toledo Public Schools by focusing on college and career readiness. YES achieves this goal by exposing underrepresented young individuals to college campus life, nurturing their leadership skills, exploring potential career paths, and supplying personal development workshops. The program also includes employer site visits and experimental learning opportunities such as job shadows and internships, to offer a comprehensive education and career preparation experience. Craig's active involvement in this initiative underscores his unwavering dedication to enhancing the lives of students and the broader community. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Craig Turner.
Hello, how's it?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I always, sometimes technology plays tricks on us here. So I just always want to make sure. Yeah.
Well, I
So it's
want
good
to
to
thank
be
you
here.
for joining us. Tell us, did I miss anything, or is there anything else you'd like for our audience to know?
No, I think you pretty much summed it all up. I was afraid that it was going to be too long, but I kind of pulled out what I already had and just submitted that. So it's good to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, sir. As we spoke about, at least as I just informed our audience as to both your experience of working at the University of Toledo and this outside program, tell us how does as far as career advisor, what are some of the challenges you faced as being career advisor when trying to get these young adults going in the right path?
Well, some of the challenges is I wouldn't consider a major challenge is making sure that the students understand what it is that they're looking for. Sometimes, coming into college, you're an 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old. You're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to know exactly what you want to do as far as a career. So is getting them to kind of discover what their strengths are and what their passions are, kind of tap into that. A lot of them they sell themselves short, being a young person. Of course, you're not going to have as much work experience or life experience as someone in their 30s, 40s, or like their parents or 50s, but where they are now in their stage of life, taking those things that they're doing and being able to articulate those as transferable skills. They have their jobs, they're working, in a restaurant, they're working at the mall, and maybe Foot Locker. They don't think much of it. They think, oh, I don't have the corner office, or I'm some executive making big money, but they don't realize that they're developing even in the teenage years those certain skills and abilities as leadership. The things that they're doing have they done in high school, going into college. Those are important to leverage those as they are applying for like internships, as they're getting themselves acclimated into college. It's kind of that personal, that self discovery, if you will. Sometimes that can be a challenge to get them to bring out those things that they're doing. So when I'm working with students, one on one, it's kind of almost like an interrogation in a nice way. Tell me about what you're doing here. Tell me about this. Give me the details of that, and then I'm able to, kind of decipher, to discern, what it is, that they possibly could do as a career.
Oh wow! So, with you being the advisor, do you link, your school's curriculum or program to particular, businesses in particular industries, in order to set those internships, or how does that work?
Well, the Business Career Programs Office, which is my main role as a career advisor, this program has been set in place for over 20 years by the senior associate dean. The program is catered to business majors, who are business majors in the College of Business at the University of Toledo, whether majoring in finance, accounting, HR, any of the business disciplines, any of the business majors. And it is really employer driven. So we look at what the hiring trends are. We constantly keep our eyes and ears open, finding out what it is that the employers want. So we're very careful about listening to what their needs are. So the program is constantly, there's a standards. There's some things that are set in place that will always be there, but we're always looking, how can we make this program better? We are the College of Business and Innovation, so we need to be innovative in how we approach career development with our students, because the workforce, is not what it was back in the 70s and 80s. The dynamics have changed tremendously. So we always want to make sure that we are conveying relevant information to the students in the way that I coach them, in the way that we prepare them, always listening to what the employers want and trying to bring that into the program, listening to what they're saying, and then implement those things to make sure that our students are developing, in the now.
So, at your school, is the curriculums, are they like diverse in like several different industries? And if so, like how many industries are you guys basically focused on when you're doing your education for your students? But then compared also to the industries outside.
Well, we have there's so many different industries that our students end up. Some are in manufacturing, in a business capacity. They may work for a transportation company. Some are working in financial institutions. Some are working in, nonprofit or healthcare. We've even had students go on to get careers in professional sports, like working, as sales and marketing for the NFL, for, professional teams, the NBA. So the industry is broad. So it's not one particular area, not just manufacturing. It could be technology, it could be pharmaceutical, it could be the healthcare. We are here in Northwest Ohio. We've had students go over and work at Cleveland Clinic. Have a young man working for Nike. So we touch just about every industry, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah. So how many, when you think about the population of the school itself, how many of your students are from your surrounding Toledo area compared to outside? Just in
Well,
estimate.
okay, so I think University of Toledo is kind of considered a commuter school, if you will, where we, within that 50 to 100-mile radius, we have a large representation of students that come from, the Cleveland area, Detroit, maybe even Columbus. Toledo is a small city, it's some 300,000 residents, just the city alone. But we get a strong representation from those other cities, Detroit, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, even Chicago. And then there's some, of course, outside of the, that range. So I would say definitely more than half, is from, not from the Toledo area of city, but, come from some of the, surrounding cities, if I can put it that way.
Okay. Um, so how did you become involved with the, well, actually, before I ask this question, how does that transcend out into the community and how you do your community development work, especially with that, with your outside program? Yes.
Well, that is attached really to the university's strategic plan, or one of the clauses or components of our strategic plan is community engagement and outreach. So that's always something, because we consider ourselves the city's university. So it's important for us to make sure that we're building and fostering strong relationships with, employers that are in the city, as well as the Toledo public school system too. So the YES program, hope I'm not digressing here, that was designed back in 2017. One of our professors, she since then has retired, has been inspired for this program to give back, and also to, serve our underrepresented population, as far as, making sure that these kids are college and career ready. And so that's where the YES program comes in at too, is, fostering, building those community relationships with the university and the Toledo public schools. That's one mechanism. That's one way that we do that. And that's the program that I'm doing right now, is the Young Executive Scholars.
So how did you become involved with this program?
Well, in 2017, when the program started, the professor who started it, she knew that I did career development, and that was part of her desire and dream, is to help our underrepresented students in one of the schools with college and career readiness. And based on, my background, she called up on me to help maybe with some career development workshops, even for high school students. So that's what I had done. I went in and maybe did kind of a mini workshop on career development, on how to prepare their resume, even at a high school level. If you're a 16-year-old, it doesn't hurt to start putting together a resume. So I did that, as well as doing some professional coaching of the students, business and professional etiquette, or some things that I was invited in to come and share with those students. And then when she retired, she specifically told our dean of the college that she wanted Craig Turner to carry on this program, which has been an honor. And that was back in 2021, when I assumed the role as director, or to continue this program.
Well, so far it sounds like that's some really good work, and I just want to tell you that the story that you're sharing now is one that I really hope my audience, listens to, because we're all about community development and connecting the community to the best things that can help it to grow and prosper. And this program sounds like it's been doing some wonders.
Yes.
Can you share some success stories from individuals who have benefited from the YES program?
Well, the program, our mission is college and career readiness, and we have had several students who have graduated from that school. The Jones Leadership Academy of Business is the name of the school where the YES Young Executive Scholars Program is. We've had students who have graduated high school and they are now have enrolled at the University of Toledo to pursue their higher education. So I would say that's a success story. Jones Leadership Academy is not the large.
Give us a second as we work to get Mr. Turner back.
Okay, there I am.
Okay.
All right. So
Yes.
yeah, see, technology fails sometimes, or it does its own thing. So the success story is that we've had students who attended Jones Leadership Academy who were in the Young Executive Scholars Program. They graduated successfully from the high school. They have enrolled in the University of Toledo, as a college student. So it's a joy to see them, on our campus, our beautiful campus, taking classes and doing well. One of the students right now, he's going to be graduating in May. He graduated from Jones in 2020. He was a part of the Young Executive Scholars. He is in the College of Business, majoring in accounting, and he will be starting his full-time job in accounting when he graduates here in May. Sometime in the summer, he'll be starting his full-time career. So that is, I think, a wonderful thing, seeing that these kids go through the program, they come to the University of Toledo, hopefully pursue their education, and then they go on and launch their career. So, yeah.
So the students that go through the program, are they assigned particular mentors, or is just a group environment of everybody doing what needs to be done to stay in the program?
Well, since this is a smaller program, I only have about roughly 30 students that are a part of this Young Executive Scholars at the school from grades 9 through 12. So I would, I guess, consider myself one of the mentors, and then the students aren't. I guess they're assigned mentors. They have mentors, but it's not where they actually or is on record that a particular person is their mentor. We put them in front of different individuals. So, that part is a little organic, making sure that they get connected to the right people on campus or even at the high school. They have mentors, don't get me wrong, at the high school level and even at the college level, but it's not a structured, when they get to the University of Toledo, that you're going to talk to this particular person only. So it's all of us, it says it takes a village, to raise. And then we have I have a support system on campus from professors to other staff members who help in this effort. So they have mentors.
Okay. Well, as the director of the YES program, what inspired you to focus on shaping the future for the next generation of business leaders?
Well, my background is, career development, and we need to do this a lot sooner than later. I'm seeing that, we can't wait to engage these young people when they get to college. These things should be done in high school or even before high school, connecting them if they are aspiring to go to college. That's the main thing. Even with the YES program, there are some students who graduated, they're not majoring directly in business. So some of them are in engineering, and somebody else is going into pharmacy. So really the whole crux of it is not so much that, they major in business when they go to college. That's a nice thing. It's great for me because I'm in the College of Business. But if wherever they go and whatever major they major in, if it's nursing or whatever, that they're successful. So college in general, if they aspire to go to college, We want them to go to college. We want them to be successful, even if it's not in a business major. It could be nursing or education, but I want to make sure that they are prepared and that they are successful.
So, how does the YES program contribute to the local community, especially high school students?
Well, first of all, college. Many of them could be first generation college students. They were first in their family to go to college. They may come from a single parent, you know, household, or maybe they don't live with their parents. They may be living with their grandparents. So there's a lot of different variables and that can break that cycle where they're the first to go to college and to complete college, not just go, but to successfully graduate and off to their career. Just as I mentioned, a young man that's going to be graduating in May, I do believe that he's probably the first in his family, immediate family, to go to college and to successfully make it through, and he has a career waiting on him when he graduates in May.
Oh, wow. And so besides them going to college, I mean, do you guys teach them like any life skills? Do y'all teach them budgeting or any of that stuff, or is that just something that they learn while they're in school?
Well, so those things are done through high school and through other programs, but my program will address those as well. And then when they get to college, there are some things that we do in the orientation class to get them, to point them to resources as they need them, which, to your point, which is very good too. You go to college, you get a career, but you don't want to get into a lot of debt if you don't have to. You spend all the money on things that you don't need. So that is a portion of it too, is the financial literacy, because we've addressed those things, and we're going to be further addressing those things. Even in the high school level, you have that part-time job at Wendy's or McDonald's. What are you going to do with that money? I mean, maybe your parents are okay with you keeping that, but are you going to save some of that money? Are you going to use that money wisely, as you even get into your internship when you go to college?
So just before I move on to the next question, I want to ask you
Yeah.
this question because this program is really, really, it sounds like it's really, really a program that I think, other states and other major universities should be looking at this kind of program to actually delve into those underserved communities. Are you sharing this with other schools, or is this just an Ohio thing that you guys are keeping for yourself?
Well, I'm open to sharing, and I get a lot of requests or a lot from employers locally. Even some of the other high schools in the city have asked about this YES program. Unfortunately, it's just me right now. I'm kind of a one-man band. I do have some help that comes in, but this is going to be something that's a heavy lift, if you will, if we grow this program, which we are desiring to do that. And that's going to take a lot of resources, if you know what I mean, to, extend this
Right.
program, because some of the other high schools in the city of Toledo have inquired about it. And I would like to see that happen at some point, much sooner than later, not to be exclusive that no one else can do it or have it or won't serve anybody else. But when you're only a one-man band, I do have some support. It makes it a little harder. So hopefully, as the resources start to become available, then maybe we can start to set up more of these programs in some of the local high schools. I believe charity begins at home. Take care of the home front first, in Toledo, in my city. So it doesn't do me any good to be in, Detroit or Los Angeles or somewhere else doing this when you have a lot of work to do right in your own backyard. So my focus would be, if anything, it would be taking care of the 419 first before moving out to some other locations.
I
Mhm.
understand that. Um, but one other follow up to that is, I understand that you do this in conjunction with high
Mhm.
schools. I mean, is it possible that just in the scheme of thinking, for maybe how you guys are planning and so forth, could this like just be like a set aside academy, that's in the community, or does it have to be a school?
Well, that's a thought. I've actually never thought of that, but however, it is something that would be entertained, that would have to go through the Toledo Public Schools, or if it starts off as kind of a nonprofit, a standalone organization itself, which that's something that, has been talked about, or even implementing it with some of the other existing programs that are already, established, you know.
So, can you elaborate on your role as career advisor at the University of Toledo and its significance for the
Okay.
students?
Well, the Career Advisor Business Career Programs Office is kind of the big brother, big sister of YES. Some of the things that I'm doing, I do with the business career programs at the university, I'm implementing some of those things on a high school level. So maybe not to the intensity of college, but things such as career development, career readiness, things of that nature. So, I guess you could say, the YES program is kind of like the love child of Business Career Programs Office, because some of the things that we do, I'm implementing those in a high school level to get them ready sooner. But anyway, the Business Career Programs Office is a professional program that was started, like I said, over 20 years ago. This is to help the business students in the College of Business with career readiness. And we do a lot of programming, and we do a lot of the things, like I said, we do are employer driven, where we partner with employers to help. For example, it's not just me meeting with the student and doing a mock interview with them or working on their resume. We have employers who are well trained and skilled at resume reviews and resume creation and interview coaching. They will come in. We're planning in the business career programs, actually this semester, we do this every semester. In the fall and in the winter, we have a day called mock interview day. We have resume critique sessions. We do our job fair. We did it in the fall. We're doing networking events, etiquette dinners, dress for success seminars. We do all of these things in the College of Business in the fall semester as well as the spring. So, and a lot of those things are where we partner with employers locally within the area. I have them on my list. I may reach out to see if they're able to volunteer to spend a few hours on campus doing mock interviews with students, coaching them on how to prepare for an interview, to effectively interview, how to make sure that their resume really reads correctly, and make sure you have the right buzzwords on there so that it gets noticed by the employer. Then we have our job fair where 100 plus employers from the area will come to campus and spend time engaging with our students, as well as some 500 to 600 plus business students will attend these events where they are getting those internship opportunities, those appointments for interviews, and the employers would come back after the job fair or a day or two after to actually do interviews on campus and interview these students for those jobs that they maybe applied for.
Let me ask you: is it possible that when you have these events like such, is it possible that we could cover one of those events where you walk us through as this is happening, so people can get a whole lot of learned experience as to the success of this program and why it
Yeah, I'd be
exists?
glad to do that. Yep, I have my phone sometimes, and I'll do a live video, and I'll walk through, and the employers are waving. It's a really great event. There's a lot of energy in the room at our job fair. We have our mascot come, Rocky and Roxy. Our team mascots will come through with their outfit on or whatever. And it's funny how the employers will be talking to a student, they see our mascot, and they'll tell the student, "Oh, wait a minute, hold on." They'll get a selfie with, Rocky or Roxy. It just kind of adds some excitement to the event. So the place is jumping, hundreds of students, lots of employers, lots of great opportunities. So I would be open to doing something like that with you.
I definitely appreciate that. I guess we'll have to discuss that a little bit later
Yeah.
time, but uh, I want to know this also. In your experience, what challenges do individuals commonly face in career planning, and how do you guide them through it?
Well, one of the things is, another bragging moment for the College of Business. Many of our students who have gone on to do multiple internships, this is no joke, 85% of our business majors, our students, gain at least one internship. There are some students getting 2 and 3 internships during their time, their 4 years. where they might intern this summer, they'll go back to that place next summer, or another company's pulling at them. They get these opportunities. So with that being said, multiple job offers may come in. There's some students who get 2 and 3 job offers. They've already got one accepted, and then another company's pulling at them. So some of the challenges is walking the students through accepting the offer. You have to do things with integrity and be very professional in how you do this. So I walk them through that. There's a right way and a wrong way to do these things, and we try really hard to teach them not to burn bridges. You might have accepted an offer already and they've got the ball rolling. Another company may come through and want to offer you, but what are you going to do? There's a right way to go through that. And we really, unless there's some circumstance that really can't be helped, you really should stick with make your commitment. You've already made a commitment and you should honor that commitment. So sometimes it can get a little dicey. This company's offering me 5,000 more than this one, but I've already accepted the offer for this one. But then, you can go back and counter offer. You can go back and negotiate, and I walk them through that because that's important for them not to burn bridges. And it also can damage their reputation if you burned an employer after they've gone through the hiring process and you kind of jump ship on them. And then, that's something that I have to deal with, and they'll have to feel my wrath if they do. So,
I gotta tell you this. You deserve an applause for that, because that's a skill that, I think a lot of people may think they have, but to learn what that means, and to just have that ability to go back and be that man or that woman that you should be, if you're going to change your mind, at least own up to that. I really like that, because that teaches a lot of ethics as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Could you share some strategies for achieving success in one's career based on your expertise?
Well, some of the strategies I use, first of all, once you identify, the area that you would like to pursue as far as a career, is start, networking. That's a big thing. Networking, I believe, is something that's ongoing. And I always tell students, even when I'm teaching in a class, a career development class, that career development is really a journey. It's not a destination. It's something that is ongoing. Networking is something that, you're going to do for the rest of your life. As long as you're living, as long as you're in the working world, in some capacity, there's going to be networking. Those are some things that are ongoing. So always be open for networking, learning from other people, meeting and engaging with others, and then also, be intentional. Those are some other things that I've told students when they get to college. The first thing they want to do is just jump and get involved with every single club and organization. Some do, not all. When you are doing that, there's nothing wrong with getting involved. I tell you, you have to be engaged in your college experience, not just sit in your apartment or sit at home and don't go get involved. You just go to class and sit at home, but when you're connecting with different organizations and clubs, you need to be intentional about it and think that, okay, what is this going to gain? Well, what gain is going to come from this after 4 years? I'm not downing fraternities and sororities or things like that. Those are great, but you don't want to burn your candle at both ends. You want to get involved in some things that is going to help you with your career, not just say you had a good time. Okay, so, so those clubs, and then look for ways to make yourself stand out on campus. We have hundreds of organizations, professional organizations and social, stepping up to be a leader within that group. If you got a professional organization like NSBE, National Black Engineers, I think I'm saying it wrong, but anyway, or SAB, Student African American Brotherhood, or different things like that. Where can you step up to become a leader? Those are some things that I tell students too, because, realizing that, at a 21, 22, whatever, you're not going to have the work experience of a 40 or 50-year-old, but whatever work experience you have or internship you have, and then what are you doing to supplement that? Are you involved? Are you, have you taken on leadership roles on campus, as a president of the Black Student Union, or, the president of student, whatever that is? You need to find ways to identify and differentiate yourself as a viable candidate, as a leader. Those are some things that you can do to launch your career. And another thing, I'm getting on my soapbox here, but a career path is not always a straight line. It's not always you. It's never ever. Not even myself. Usually it's going up and down, going around. You may not always can get in through the front door of that company. You know,
especially
right?
young.
Try a side door, a window, a crawl space, back door. You know, so, but seriously though, when you get a career path, it's not always a straight line. And you have to be flexible and learning to do other things to get to where you want. With the goal in mind.
How does the University of Toledo bridge the gap between education and employment for its students?
Well, how do we bridge that gap? I know the College of Business, we have our business career programs office. Okay, so these students are studying business, whether it's in finance or accounting, whatever your major is, you're doing well in class. The business career programs, we are that bridge between the classroom experience and the actual work experience. So we want them to have experiential learning. So, you're an accounting major, you're learning all of these things in the class. Now you need to, and maybe you have a 3.8 GPA. That's wonderful. Okay, so how do you market yourself? How do you present yourself? What skills can you convey to that employer to get that internship in accounting or that full-time job? This is where the business career programs office is. We're the bridge between the two, the employer, the classroom, and the employer. So you come through us, we can help prepare you, get you ready to cross to the other side.
Oh, wow. What impact do you foresee the YES program having on communities in the long term?
Well, as this program, as it continues to flourish and develop and grow, we want to see this, possibly move to some of the other high schools in the city. So it would attract more students to, consider college, i.e. the University of Toledo. This is just not just community engagement. This is a means for us to, maybe do some recruiting and getting, some more minority students on our campus.
That, I was thinking about the recruiting part because I think as you have a program that's so focused and so driven, that's got so many variations in it, that's doing so many wonderful things, you would have to I think you're going to have to get to the point that you're going to have to start recruiting like like the top or the best of in order to bring
Right.
in, because it sounds like you guys have already made that
Right.
impact already in the community.
And then one of the things about the YES program is that I've worked with the school counselor and the principal at Jones Leadership Academy. So, they are selective as to who they're going to allow into this program. I trust them. I'm not at the school every day, obviously, but I try to get there maybe once or twice a month to do some things spend some time with the children, young people, as well as get them on campus for things. So they pretty much select the students who are the best representatives. So the students need to be doing well in class with their academics. They need to have the leadership potential. They also need to make sure that they are good citizens within the school, not getting in trouble and fighting all the time and things of that nature. They're young people. They're going to make mistakes, but there's certain elements of the YES program that are standards to get in the program and to remain to the program. And I let them know I convey my expectations to them that I'm going to respect you. You're young people. You have minds. You can think. You can speak. Respectfully, of course, and be honest and be candid with one another. But I'm going to do the same thing. I want you to respect me. I'm going to respect you. And we have a wonderful relationship. And, these young people, they're very polite. They're very mannerable. They come to our campus, and they come to our job fairs, and, the employers will look, oh, these kids are just wonderful. They just are always just, on their best. And that's the type of students that will get into this program, and that's under the guidance of the principal and the school counselor. So they monitor that, because they know that these students are representatives, they're ambassadors, and they want the best students for the program.
So, how can individuals get involved or participate in the YES program, and is it exclusively to the University of Toledo students?
Well, it is for the Jones right now. We just have the relationship right now with the Jones Leadership Academy, and then again, like I said, it's for the principal and the school counselor sort of monitors who they recommend to be in the program. I meet with the students. I go over my expectations, what we're going to do in the program, and then they are to sign a contract, or it's a note. Their commitment to the program. Of course, their parents have to allow them permission to be a part of the program too.
Well, now I will say this. Well, with the parents, I mean, how have the parents been when it comes to this program? Have they?
They're very cooperative, and
Have
I've had the opportunity to meet some of the parents, and they've been very thankful for how their child is developing, and especially the ones that attend the University of Toledo. I've been able to meet some of them, and they just are really appreciative and grateful for the opportunity for students to be in the program.
So, can you share any unique initiatives or events organized by the YES program?
Well, one unique initiative, I had to put my camera on pause because I wanted to show. This is something I have had a desire to do this for a few years now, and finally I was able to get the resources to do it. The students that are in the program, they've proved faithful, they proved consistent. So back in December, every year we have like a little holiday lunch party, if you want to call it that, at the school, just kind of get together, because I believe it's spending quality time with the students, not just hi and bye, but sit down and talk with them. So each student that is in the program right now, if they've proven themselves consistent and are doing well, I was able to have backpacks produced for them.
Oh,
With the University of Toledo Young Executive Scholars. So they were surprised when I was able to give these as a gift, and I was so happy. Thanks to the generosity of some donors, I was able to have these bags made for them. So each student, they have to earn it. I'm not just going to give you these bags because they cost. So I don't want to be in the group just to get a bag, and we're going to peep that out too. So that was one of the initiatives, so they can wear these bags around their school, or wherever they're at, with pride that they were a part of the Young Executive Scholars program. I've given them T-shirts, but this is kind of the next step, that they're representatives of this program, and hopefully it will inspire some of the other students to want to be a part of it. But there's some things that they have to do to be in the program and remain in the program.
That's another example of growth.
Yes.
So what role does education play in fostering community growth, and how is it interconnected with the YES program?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What role does education play in fostering community growth, and how is it interconnected with the YES program?
Well, I've always heard, and it's true, that knowledge is power. I mean, education, the more education you are expected to do better, to live better, to be better. So if these young people are being educated, they leave high school, they're going on to college, they're going on to get their career, really nice careers with, gainful employment, that would lead to having a better community where they're at home or wherever they're at. You see, it can improve their way of life. So, and I think that, like with the YES program, if these students all are college bound, they're going to college, successfully finishing college, they're going off to start their careers. So they should be better than the generation before them, their parents. They're taking, and then they can move on and on. So my hope is to their community or the area that you see the improvement, within their community or in their life.
So what has been the impact of this program both at the University of Toledo and in the community that you can actually say is mutually exclusive, that's actually showing its beautiful
Well,
hair?
it would be the students that are going to college that are enrolling at the University of Toledo and then going off to, establishing their careers. So we're seeing that now, more attention. Even the employers in the region, they are stepping up, asking how they can support this. We have site visits lined up, in the fall and in the spring, where these students can spend time at an accounting firm or at a corporate office here in Toledo to know what it's like to be a financial analyst, or to work in as a professional sales, or to be in human resources. So it's starting to get the attention of not just the university people, but the student, or but the employers in the area who see it and that would like to somehow take part in it. And I'm definitely open for that. So open your doors and open your checkbooks. Let's get this.
Don't be
No, I
shy.
can't be shy now, because closed mouths don't get fed, and I got a lot of hungry children. So, come on, let's we want to build this thing so we can offer scholarships in the future, for this too. So that's one of the end goals too.
Now, as the ED, educational director of the YES program, what achievements are you particularly proud of?
Me personally, for myself, you mean? Okay, well,
Yes.
being nominated or referred to lead this initiative, this program, by my colleague who retired back in 2021. I thought it was an honor. She thought of me and she said, I don't want anybody else running this program but Craig. I said, oh really? And I felt that was an honor, because this was a passion of hers, and I always want to kind of do it to the best of my ability, and then show her that I do it right, because I still keep in contact with her. I send her a backpack, I let her know, we meet for lunch sometimes, so she's very happy. So I want to make her proud, because this was kind of her baby, something that, was on her heart to establish and carry that on. So if I can keep doing that and take it to the next level, then I'm happy.
See, this is the time I was expecting you to be on your soapbox.
Oh, okay. Uh, I mean, you asked me to talk about myself. I mean, you know, well,
Because you should be proud. I know you're proud of it, but I mean, you really deserve a whole lot of credit. And also, and just so you know this, I just put it out last week that what we're having for the end of the
okay.
year is we're having our viewers, as they watch each episode, to comment and to vote on their person to be America in Black and White's Person of the
Oh,
Year.
wow.
So this is the time where you should be on that soapbox, because you're really doing some things there in this community that people need to be
Okay,
about.
all right. Well, other things, being I'm a first generation student too. So, going to college, I was a first generation non-traditional student, whenever all of that stuff, being out of high school, I didn't do very well. My first year of college, I had to drop out, then I went back. I think, getting my education, and I've been blessed to be at the University of Toledo for over 11 years, and I'm doing things now that I never thought I would do or could do. I thought I would be in corporate America, for the rest of my life, doing whatever, those jobs that I was doing. And then if you had told me that I would be working for a 4-year university, getting a another degree, leading this YES program and teaching college level courses, I would have said, child, please. Because I didn't want to do that. I didn't ever think that I would do that. Going back to school, I was, being a non-traditional student, I was a full-grown adult when I got my bachelor's degree. And I said, I am never going back to school for anybody. And then I find myself, going to grad school and doing some things that, and I still get those tugs and those taps and those pulls when are you going to get into that doctoral program, whatever. I think never. But no, I'm always in a position to learn. I'm not gonna say never, but we'll see. We'll see what the Lord says, about it. But
Well,
um,
yeah, I'm sure that it's all going to be good
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Uh, I think, but it seems like for all of this that you put into this program is only going to grow. And so, and I want to make sure that when I do get this opportunity to cover some of those
okay.
events, because I actually want to come to
Oh,
Toledo and I actually want to cover these events. I mean, of course, I know you'll have to be there, because I want you to take us through what we're going to be seeing. Because again, this is a program that I really think people should really be knowing about, because there's lots and lots of good things that you guys are
hmm.
doing. You know, I'm surprised that there's not many states all over the country that has not been pouring into you guys. But we'll help to expose this program so they will be calling you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
How do you balance personal insights with professional growth in your career advisory role?
How do I balance personal insights to repeat
Mhm.
that other part?
With professional growth in your career advisory role?
That's a good question. Well, I, when I work with students, I one of the things when I'm giving examples and doing coaching, and I try to pull from my personal experiences, things that I've learned, whether it was like the mistakes or good or bad or whatever. I try to, implement personal experiences with them in my role as a career advisor, and I think I have a lot of those personal experiences, stories about things that happen as far as in my profession. How do you deal with certain, setbacks or disappointments, and they ask certain questions, about, discriminatory type things. I draw from my own experiences, when I do that. I hope I answered that.
So then basically, let's just say when it says your personal insights. So we're talking about, maybe the things that you do in your everyday life, but your goals that you set that are up here, compared to how you do the work that you do in your professional life as the advisor that you are. How do you get those things to balance and they work together?
Well, realizing, that, like I said, I believe in, servant leadership, that, I'm put here to serve and to, pour into other people. I realize that what I do, in this career advisor, it can change people's lives, can affect their lives. So giving them, the best information I can give them, the best, coaching I can give them, the best, the resources, pointing to the resources, leading by example. I try not to tell them people to do things that I haven't done already. Well, some things are new now, so I haven't had to do them yet as far as a career, but just, trying to, lead by example, is what I try to do, on a day-to-day basis, dealing with these kids, being authentic too. Another thing, as I've learned in this education role, I'm babbling on my soapbox now, as I always do, that students, these young people, I don't think us older generations give them enough credit. They think that maybe they can't think or they don't know anything, or I mean, there's a lot they don't know, but they are a lot more perceptive than maybe what we give them credit for. I've been in some experiences where they know if you really care. They know if you're just feeding them a line, just, telling them what you think they want to hear, if you're a phony or whatever. And I've had some students come back and said that speaker was full of it, or whatever. And they were people, and they talk, these kids, they talk. So being, genuine in your approach, being authentic, that helps me even in my personal life, just being genuine and about what you do. And it affects, how you do your job, and what you're doing for other people.
Well, that was definitely a lot, but I think also I think what people are going to take from that is that when they look at the Yes program, they're going to see you because you poured yourself into that program. And it's all about the authenticity.
Mhm.
What advice would you give to individuals aiming for career advancement in today's competitive landscape?
What advice? Okay, keep those goals in mind. The other thing is the networking piece. I'm big on that. I mean, it works. That, I mean, networking is, like I said, it's something that's ongoing. Is learning how to do that effectively. And some everybody's not the outgoing, chatty type person or whatever. I get that, but you got to find a way to connect with other people that you can learn from. Mentorship has really been a big thing that has helped me. You know, in different capacities. I have mentors, male, female, black, and white. So not just having a mentor. All your mentors have to be black or have to be whatever or be male. And even I've had mentors that were younger than me. I've had a mentor that was younger than me. I'm 54, and this gentleman was probably 10 years younger, but he was a senior level college administrator, but he had so much in him. He had so much experience and knowledge. So, get a mentor. It doesn't have to be someone that's younger than you, or, it can be younger than you. It doesn't have to be someone that's older than you or the same age. There's nothing wrong with that. That's one thing, mentorship. And then also, the continuous learning. Do things that you normally would not do to make yourself marketable. I've been doing things now at the university. It's kind of scary sometimes. I find myself teaching a class and I'm sitting here looking like, what the heck am I doing? Am I actually doing this? I never thought. I mean, doing things, being what's the word? Being comfortable, being uncomfortable. So, I'm teaching classes. It's a little uncomfortable sometimes because, the students are looking to you to be the person that can provide the knowledge, and you have it, but it's just, oh God, I was probably really boring and they were falling asleep on me, but that's just the way it is, so become comfortable, being uncomfortable sometimes, doing those things that not used to doing or never thought you would or could do, has helped too, as far as a career. Like I said, a career path is not straight. It's all over the place sometimes getting to that final destination.
And let's see, this one last question for you.
Hmm.
Could you share your vision for the future of the Yes program and its impact on the business community?
Well, my vision for this would be some things such as getting the program so established where we're able to award scholarships to the participants to some capacity. So that would take, some very hefty resources, but I believe it's out there, and I believe that as the more people see this and catch the vision, if you will, I think that they will, subscribe to it, or to support the program. And then making sure that, even spreading this to the other, high schools in the area that have expressed some interest in the Yes program or tell me about the Yes program. I've had people call me, just out of the blue. How do I get my child into this Yes program? And then I find out, well, what school does your child go to? And they say, well, my child's only in the sixth grade at so and so school. And I'm like, wow, this is another opportunity to help. But, unfortunately, I'm not at the capacity to be able to spread to some of the other schools just yet. Or maybe their child does not go to that school, the Jones leadership. They might go to one of the other high schools that I've had. So I have it just so much that I see that can happen with this, but it takes some support and resources to make sure that this takes off the way I would want it to.
Also, I got to ask this one last follow
Oh,
up
go
to you.
ahead and ask. I'm here.
Because I mean, like in that case, are you guys actually working on a actual structure and plan for the advancement? For the expansion, shall I say?
Well, we've had some conversations with it though, and we've had some ideas brought to the table of how I can do that. So we have not had consistent planning about it. It's just something that, was brought up, but unfortunately, that's where it kind of left. I would say maybe in a sense is kind of put on hold, if you will, because due to the fact you have limited resources and people to do this work, we have to figure a way to get that taken care of so we can move forward with it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. We've had some ideas and some things that are kind of in the hopper, but it hasn't come to fruition yet. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you for your time and you blessing us with your presence. And hopefully we'll have you back. But I'll definitely be in connection with you because I definitely want to cover some of those events, and I want to, help you to expose this program to the rest of the country
Okay.
because the impact is limitless, but it's also fruitful because when we can reach out to communities, especially those that are underserved, and we can do things like this as a service to help to to build it and put those resources back out there to pull these young people in and help them to get that mind right, get them focused like they're supposed to be, and things can work.
Yeah,
you know
I agree. I
and
agree.
so I just really I'm looking forward to to getting back with you so I can learn about when this could possibly take place.
Okay.
But also I'm looking forward to this program being what it's supposed to be and people learning a whole lot more about you, Mr. Craig Turner.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. King. All right.
Well, I want to thank you, and I
Yeah.
want to thank our guest for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow on another episode of America in Black and White. You all have a